ISIL's propaganda has drawn thousands of young men to the terror group with promises of heroism, martyrdom, and brotherhood. But many find that the reality is very different. CCTV's Michal Bardavid brings us to testimonials of two men who defected to Kurdish forces in Iraq.
As more and more disillusioned men escape from ISIL and defect, their stories provide valuable insight as to why people initially want to join and shortly after are desperate to flee ISIL. This 23-year-old claims he spent 3 months with ISIL. He contacted Peshmerga forces and was allowed safe passage to defect. He explains these words had convinced him to join ISIL.
Here is Dar al-Islam, the house of Islam. It has been the house of infidels. This is obligatory jihad, and you should come, otherwise you will be considered as an unbeliever. These kinds of talks encouraged us to join.
But once becoming a member, they began to realize the brutal and inhumane approach the group practiced.
For instance, once the military Amir, our leader, said civilians are fleeing ISIL-controlled areas and surrendering to Peshmerga. Don't allow them to do so. Kill them. Then I said, this is not possible. I said, these people are afraid. That's why they are fleeing. He said, no, because they don't accept our rule. That's why they are fleeing.
Aside from the fact that Islamic State seems un-Islamic in itself, there are many other harsh realities that ISIL members face. Living conditions are tough. The promised luxury, a myth. No room for non-compliance. Any dispute is physically punishable. Therefore, defectors explain there are many who want to leave, but are terrified of the consequences.
They are afraid that if they flee and get caught, they would be considered as spies. Punishment of spies is beheading. They are afraid, otherwise they all want to return.
These testimonials support reports which conclude that more and more fighters want to and will continue to leave ISIL. Perhaps a defector's words of advice can help prevent others from falling into ISIL's deception to begin with.
My message for the young people who are willing to join ISIL: to not make this mistake. Do not go. There's no Islam and no love to Islam there.
Michal, Bardavid, CCTV News.